The 100 meters just went absolutely insane this weekend. Unironically, we got 2 world-leading marks, 2 top 10 all-time performances, as well as a handful of other historic level marks. But when it comes to the fastest performance this year, I'm skeptical. First, we have to start off with the slowest of the 100 meter insanity, and somehow that's Kenny Bednarek, continuing his 6 of 6 undefeated Grand Slam streak while demolishing a should-be fast field of 3 world/Olympic medalists. Yeah, a trademarked robotic run where Bednarek simply separated further and further as the race continued. 986, a 0.8 wind, a number that'll become important soon, a new personal best and an equal world lead. All that with a minor stumble out the blocks as well. I honestly don't know how he did it, but he managed to recover the stagger in like 4 steps. Just imagine a perfect race. He could have gone faster. So while undoubtedly impressive, this performance and the last has me conflicted. Is Bednarek peaking too early? Let's get some facts straight. Bednarek is an Omanyala. Sorry to use him as an example. But Bednarek times his season well. He runs fast when he needs to, and although he holds the bridesmaid tag from his second place finish in 2021, 2022, and 2024, these silver medals have proved he can at least handle championship pressure well. But has the mental pressure, the overbearing determination to become the #1 guy this year,
tired of losing,
plus the allure of $400,000 prize money, made Bednarek force his hand too early? I really don't know. It's just a thought that interests me to no end. Since the world champs are late this year, it's technically like we're still in early May. And historically, Bednarek does run fast early and continues his momentum, but never this fast. Of course, the incentives are different this year, but what do you think? Does he crash and burn, or head into historic level territory? Speaking of peaking, the next 2 athletes have done it perfectly. Since the NCAA Track and Field Championships is right around the corner, on June 12th, that's going to be a fun one. Abdul-Rasheed Saminu and Jordan Anthony ran absolutely demonic times this weekend. Saminu, who hails from Ghana, went 986, 0.6 wind, less wind than Bednarek, and at the NCAA East prelims.
Can he hold him up? Yes, he can. 1, 2, and 3.
That's a downright massive personal best. In fact, it's his first time cracking the 10-second barrier legally, and the second fastest time the NCAA has ever seen, only behind a peak college Christian Coleman. But emphasis on his first legal sub-10. Saminu has flirted multiple times with a 9-second clock. 987, 2.2 wind earlier this year in April, and even 995 last year with a 3.6. So while being a big PB, there were indicators this could happen very soon. On the other hand, in the NCAA West prelims, Jordan Anthony ran undoubtedly the most shocking time this year.
USC, Washington, Arkansas.
9.75 seconds, but a 2.1 tailwind. An agonizing 0.1 seconds away from being a legitimate top 6 time in history, and the fastest collegiate ever by a huge margin. But to his credit, all conditions, hurricanes, tornadoes, Texas and all, this is a top 10 time ever ran. And did I mention Anthony is only 20? These dang kids, man. I said it a month ago when he went 998. A sprinter with dominant top end speed is special, and while the time turned heads, so did the way he runs. It's all front side. His legs are just constantly clawing the ground behind him. Prima suffer power stuff. But, as the title implies, there are some reasons to be skeptical. Firstly, he's run 3 other sub-10s this year, all hanging around the mid to high 9.9s with some tailwinds. His best work actually being a clean 995. So even considering the wind, a 0.2 drop is a pretty massive outlier. Although truthfully, I wouldn't be skeptical at all if it was just him who made this massive jump, because realistically it is only a 0.1 improvement if you're just for the conditions. But the 3 other athletes behind him saw massive jumps in their personal bests as well. Starts to make you think, doesn't it? But of course, this isn't adjusting for the wind. So let's get nitty gritty. Adjusting all times and removing wind from the equation at all, we get an average improvement of 0.17 seconds. Funnily enough, Anthony's seeing the least amount of improvement. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to call it fake, I just thought another perspective would be healthy. Even then, his 200 meter gave me the impression that this time is more real than not. 20.20 seconds, literally looking like Dash from The Incredibles.
Go, 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 go. Run, come on, yeah, pick up the pace, come on. No, pull back,
Between Saminu and Anthony, their times are a lot closer than we've been led to believe. I'm hopeful and excited to see if Anthony can live up to a time like this, and the NCAA Champs is going to be an absolute thriller. But there is still one more time to discuss. Melissa Jefferson absolutely murdering the short sprints at Grand Slam track. First, decapitating Gabby Thomas at her own event, going 21.99 seconds, a new PR, and sub 22 at Franklin Field.
Got work to do. Hold of Jfferson-Wooden. Can she get there?
Literally, every curve race suffered because of this cursed track. And then the 100 meters, she blew that shit apart. 10.73 seconds, a legal top 10 time ever, and not only did I and you see it live, but we streamed it live on the channel. Unbelievable, look at this gap grow, it doesn't stop. 10.74 legal this time. It feels like I basically ran the time myself. Last year, Jefferson-Wooden had a stellar year. 10.8 at the US Olympic trials, bronze at the Olympics, cementing herself as a true contender in the women's 100. Previously being one of those athletes who had run fast, but hadn't put it together when it mattered. But rumours had it, last year was done while dealing with an injury in the early season. And in an interview I can't find anywhere, she talked about coming into this year with a smooth build-up. And we're seeing the fruits of her labour. Alfred and Richardson will certainly have their hands very full this year. Unless of course we use the same argument that she might be peaking too early. And before we talk about some other 100 meter shenanigans, remember the windy discus throws of Ramona, Oklahoma? Yeah, they're dodgy, but the fact they're throwing further out there means they're about to throw further in a stadium. And lo and behold, we got 4 of the largest, undisputed windless throws of all time. On the 24th of May, Christian Scher launched debatably the most impressive discus effort in history. That line that's off screen is 65 meters. This puts him 6th on the all-time list and the farthest throw outside of Ramona since 2006. And from what I learned in my actually really civil and informative comment section, is that every other throw ahead of this has been through chasing wind. And the very next day, he'd do it again. 72.11 meters. And just watch these in slow-mo. Basically windless visually, and even the sprint results from the day back that up. So skip to the 30th of May. Alekna, the world record holder, doesn't take this lying down. He goes 72.12 meters himself in the NCAA. That's right, he's still a college athlete. And as if you'd fucking believe it, Che, 72.36 meters the very next day. Is this the best available footage? I don't know. No one before this week had thrown a stadium or near still conditions 72 meter throw. And we just got 4 back to back to back to back. My video took a very critical take on the discus world records, but in it I made sure to reassure you this is the strongest era of discus throwers we've ever seen. And when it rains, it bloody pours. Okay, now back to the 100 meters. This might sound like a joke, but are you aware of the white guy 100 meter world record? Back in 2011, French legend Christopher Lemaitre would run a 9.92 seconds with a perfect 2.0 wind. And since then, no white man has ever run a faster time. I know this sounds comical. In one way, it's a bit embarrassing. In another way, it's a stark reminder of how important genetics and the correct physical profile is to be an elite sprinter. Lemaitre also has other incredible times and incredible PBs, like an impressive 19.80 in the 200 meter, in which he took home a bronze medal at the World Championships, and in the Bolt era no less. He also has an Olympic bronze too. But since Lemaitre, you can count on one hand how many white athletes have gone sub 10. I said one hand, but you really only need 2 fingers. Anyway, this week, we'd get 2 more men to this list. Lachlan Kennedy, 9.98 seconds, the second fastest time ever by an Australian.
9.98 for Lachlan Kennedy.
He's known for his incredible starts, but this time, separating from an at-altitude Omanyala and Walaza in the back half of the race. Walaza has been on a roll cracking sub-10s, even being considered as a top under-20 prospect ever. And here he is, getting cooked by the youth gatekeeper Lachlan Kennedy. But this 9.98 has a lot to consider. First, we're at 1600 meters elevation, but that is basically cancelled out by a 0.07 headwind to a 9.99. You know what, we take those. And then in the NCAAs, Kalen Walker, 9.94. Probably can't show much of that one, but both these guys are known for their bullet start. But here, Their back end looked proper impressive. Again, this does sound all a little bit stupid, but I'm genuinely invested. For our mayonnaise brothers' sake, I believe the white guy 100 meter world record is going down soon. So thanks for watching, and while this video closes out, with the crazy 100 times, there were also ridiculous 200 meter times in the NCAA. And in the long jump, I don't want to hype it up too early, but there's a Cuban monster who's come back from a 4-year injury hiatus. Echevarria. He's gone over 8.8 meters like 3 or 4 times, illegally of course, but he just jumped 8.3 meters.